Michelle gives her first impressions.
What are your first impressions of your housemates, Michelle?
I quite like them all. It's an interesting lot. I'm quite interested in Katie's story, getting into who Perez really is, apart from who we know from being that shit-talking American on the computer, because I think there's a lot underneath there. He's really loud speaking voice where it's like, you know, jarring.
What do you think it's going to be like living with these people?
It's going to be a bumpy ride. It's not going to be smooth. I think it's just smooth right now. Nobody's really getting on each other's nerves yet, that's why. But that takes a few days, doesn't it? I'm going to say this now and maybe regret it, but I'm quite enjoying getting to know Katie, which is like the two evil masterminds come together, which it really shouldn't be, because I am so offended by the words that she speaks, but I wanted to have an open mind and start with a clean slate, because we're all in here together. She could hate the way that I am. But so far I've quite enjoyed the side that she's been showing me. I'm just not sure I buy it. I'm not convinced. I would love to be wrong and she comes in here and redeems herself and changes her personality, and again, that might be her goal. That might be why she's doing Big Brother. But I need to get into her brain as to why do it then. I'm very aware of her online persona, and I'm not a fan of it.
Michelle summarizes yesterday's chaos.
Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning, Big Brother.
How are people this morning?
I wish everybody woke up and was like, oh my God. New day, new start, can't believe it, let's crack on. But instead, what are they doing? Rehashing everything that happened last night. Reliving it all again. It's like high school. They just lost the plot last night. I think everything started with nominations, as it does. And I think Jeremy started by saying something very weird in nominations about a wolf pack killing off the weak one, and we were all kind of like, okay. And I know that made Patsy feel uncomfortable. Then Ken had started with some comments. Then we were in the bedroom and Callum was laying there and I was in my bed. We were just talking. And Ken walks over in his droopy white knickers and asks me, in his words, if I would violently fuck Callum. Now, I'm a street-savvy New Yorker. I'm used to men like this. Does not affect me. But what I did to diffuse it was gave him what he wanted. So I told him I'd fuck the shit out of Callum if I wasn't a married woman. If I hadn't worked in a strip club for 2 years, I probably would have handled it differently. He was drunk, but that's still not okay. Jeremy was drunk. Jeremy didn't even know what he was doing, I can guarantee it. Still not okay. You know, Chloe doesn't feel safe. Perez is friggin' insane. And, you know, with Ken, Nadia's extremely offended. I am just disgusted by his behavior because I find him very funny. I happen to like him. You're looking like a racist, sexist, chauvinistic pig. Oh my God. It's like being in a house with crazy children. Why do these people have no boundaries? Chloe's a 21-year-old girl. Camila is 28. You think it's okay for Ken to comment on their ass and their tits?
Michelle, how do you think this is all going to play out, these differences between the housemates?
I think we're not done. I think this is the beginning. And that's the honest to God truth.
Michelle is overwhelmed by Perez's obnoxious behavior.
I have been trying since day one to help Perez become a better person in ways that I know he didn't think about before. And I have recognized that he's changed, and I've been really good with him. I've been honest with him, but this constant need for attention and camera time and the melodrama is probably good on TV, but living with it 24/7, obnoxious doesn't even cover it. And I know that he's such a good boy in there, and I want good things for him. but it's exhausting. This is more than I've ever experienced, ever. I work with drag queens for a living. Do you understand how high maintenance and the level of need from a drag queen? 20 of them at one time cannot compare to one of him.
As king, Perez is immune from eviction. Michelle reacts.
The level of obnoxiousness is limit. I'm at my limit. I'm at my limit. So much so that he's chosen to ignore me, which is great, because it won't end well. But this level of ridiculous is inhumane. It's not normal. It's so ridiculous. There's nothing real. It's all a facade. It's such bollocks. It's not even funny. It's not enjoyable. It's obnoxious. It's ridiculous. And we all feel that way. It's like insanity because he doesn't shut the F up. I think he needs some help. Nobody can need that much attention. It's not possible. He just goes with what he thinks is going to get him camera time. I know the UK public sees this because they know how smart they are. But us in this house, we're dying, we're wilting. And now he's immune. He's immune. We're dying.
With his immunity, the thought of potentially spending more time with Perez, how does that make you feel?
Oh, it's torture. But I can handle it. I can handle it to do the right thing. Because in the end, it is going to come to blows. And I do not go down.
Tonight Perez instigated a fight by nakedly thrusting up against the bedroom window. Michelle reacts.
Big brother, what we just witnessed is an outrage. I don't have a voice, so I can't voice it. But I'm outraged for an entire community that has been fighting for equality for so long, and that one of our people can run around in his underwear, make sexually explicit movements, be bothersome to these girls, and set our community back 50 years. We've been fighting this fight every day for equal rights, equality, equal insurance, equal marriage. It's ridiculous that I fight for these things every day when this person is an embarrassment to an entire community, let alone a country. I do not want people judging the gay community on this ass.
God, you'll be sweet. You'll be sweet. You'll be all good.
The world is going to view gays like that. That's why we fight.
No, I understand.
Because there's so much more to these people than that. That's what they're going to see. They're going to see that.
Nominations.
My first nomination is for Perez Hilton. My reasons for nominating Perez Hilton are two: pity and disdain, all in once. I pity him because he's made a mockery of the gay community, and as my gay brother, I feel like we should be walking hand in hand, and we can't because of the stunts that he pulled, and he's been an embarrassment. And disdain because since day one, since I met him, all I've done is try to help him. Years ago, I had him on my radio show. I've always supported him, and this is the payback that I get. I'm voting for Alicia for my second nomination. She's playing a victim, and I don't like when women play victim. Every time she gives Perez what he wants, every time she takes him back, she's just playing into that role. He has done this whole house wrong, and she's just going, come back, it's okay, come back. You can treat me like crap, you can shit on me, I'll take you back anytime. It makes me feel enraged, angry, and I want to be strong for women. I want her to be strong, and she's not.
At the first eviction, the crowd outside could be heard chanting the words, "Get Perez out." Michelle gives her prediction.
I think Perez is going to go home if it goes by the chance we heard on the Edwardian ball night. He's always me. So right away, the cloak of invisibility went up. Right away, he wanted to protect himself and say, send me home, send me home. But there's also a part of me that knows that he would love nothing more than the UK public to keep him in. I will never forget the things he said to me, the way he acted, the things he's done to my friends. I will never forget that. I'm sure he doesn't care. He can give two shites. But in the end, he was very, very out of line to people that I love.
Michelle has noticed a change in Perez since Katie Price entered the house.
Even with his new changed way, I'm not really buying it completely. I think that he's been called out because he's been so boring and predictable at this point that nobody's interested to play his game. And therefore he's got no ammunition. So it's just boring. I think he even bored himself.
Why do you think that behaviour change has happened?
I think since Katie Price is here, because he's a fan, he doesn't want to look like a twat. And he's on his best behavior trying to suck up to her because she has seen everything that the public has seen. But, like I did, came in here with a clean slate, didn't want to judge anybody, which is smart. And she got to see it herself, so that's good. But you can only hold that persona for so long before the real you comes out. I will tell you, though, I much prefer him like this. At least he's human. He's acting like a person and not a, I don't even know what to call that other thing.
Do you feel like there's a part of you that's still waiting for something else to change, though?
Yeah, we're waiting for that next hit, which is terrible. When you go to rescue a dog and you go to pet the dog and the dog's like, because it was abused. That's what we are. PTPD, post-traumatic Perez disorder.
Michelle is asked a question.
Have the vibes in the house surprised you as to who you're connecting with?
Completely. Callum surprised me because I'm not used to straight guys, but he's got this energy that's really great about him, and he's really funny and goofy. So once I got to know him, I said, of course. Cav is incredible. Of course we're drawn to each other, not just the gay thing, but he's really smart and funny, and he's a singer, and it was just... And the biggest surprise, of course, for me was Katie Hopkins. And we were instantly drawn to each other because of our sense of humor. I don't disagree with her wanting to make change in the things she wants to make change in, but I disagree with her execution, but I told her that. But it's her career. She does it that way, and I do mine my way. But we are so similar in so many ways.
Nominations.
My first nomination is Patsy. I love her. She's so sweet. But she is not in here at all. I'm not even saying she wants to go home. I'm just saying she's not in this at all. Blank slate. She's not right. I feel like there's a level of commitment from everybody, and I don't feel like she's mentally there anymore. My second nomination is Nadia. I feel like she's got control issues. I feel like when I have an opinion, before I even finish the opinion, she'll jump in and shut it down, or she'll jump in and cut me off, which is fine. We can all get our point across, but you don't have to interrupt. You don't have to always be in control, and your point is not always right. It's frustrating.
When Perez re-entered the house, he told Michelle he was disappointed in her for being friends with Katie Hopkins. Michelle responds.
It was enjoyable for 2 days. And then Perez came back, the dark cloud came over again. And we made our peace before he left. But as soon as he came back, it was, you know, I'm disappointed in you, and I'm disappointed in you, and just spouting these awful ways to talk to people. Because in all honesty, the only person I can disappoint is myself. I don't care if I've disappointed Perez Hilton, to be honest. When you have different barometers of what's offensive, if I'm sitting there and I'm not saying anything offensive, but Katie Hopkins decides to say things that bother her about people, since when is it my job to go, oh, you shouldn't say that, oh, that's not nice? That's not my job. She could say whatever she wants. I'm not going to co-sign. I'm not going to agree. It's not my job to police her. The same way Nadia told me it's not her job to police Perez. If he is disappointed because I didn't sit there and go, don't say that about Cheggers, then fuck you. I don't care if you're disappointed.
Michelle gives her thoughts on today's task.
I do feel like Cammie was selfish, and I'm glad I wasn't selfish here. I feel better about myself as a person, although I'm destroyed about not getting the letters.
Who do you think your letter may have been from?
From my husband, He would have told me how the girls were doing. Lily has started track season. It's her first track season in high school. So he would have updated me on her. And my youngest, who's amazing. There was hope. If we didn't push it, and they didn't push it, and we acted for the greater good, that we would have at least had a chance to get one letter each.
So why do you think, in your opinion, Cammy Lee decided to press the button?
She really wanted a letter.
Are you disappointed in her?
A little bit. Little bit. I still love her. But I'm not gonna lie. I'm a shit liar anyway. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed.
Michelle Big Brother can also confirm that if no housemates had pressed the buttons, all of the letters would have been destroyed.
Okay.
There was never an opportunity for all housemates to get the letters.
Okay, so, well, it's done then, isn't it? My thought process was equality. Forever.
Last night Michelle and Perez butted heads. Perez said Michelle is not a representative of the LGBT community since she's not LGBT. Michelle responds.
He said something to me last night to hurt me personally, to cut me. And when I confronted him on it, he said, no, that's just my truth. And I said, no, there's a difference. And I kept just trying to drive home the point that he was just trying to be mean, and he wouldn't own it. That was a mean thing to say to me because, and I'll explain, he had nothing to gain from saying that. The only thing he could gain from that was wounding me. Of course, I'm not going to allow it to, but at the moment it was like, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. You know, I'm not going to allow you to say that without you hearing what I have to say. And that's what I did. He doesn't have to think that I'm a good representation for the gay LGBT community. He doesn't have to think I'm a representative. He doesn't have to think that I'm a voice. He doesn't even think that I'm involved as an ally. He counts me outside. But I know from personal experience, walking in gay prides, fighting for fights, AIDS rallies, the marches, endless work constantly, which I'll never stop doing, that people do appreciate the ally. And I am part of the community. Don't tell me I'm not because I'm not a gay woman. That's bullshit. He meant to hurt me. That's really what it comes down to. That's not a good person.
Michelle is rattled by Katie's recent friendliness with Perez.
I wouldn't blame Katie for playing a game, but I would blame her for making me a pawn in her game, if that were the case.
Big Brother's aware that you and Katie have a friendship of sorts.
Allegedly. Because I have only known her for a month. If she screwed me over and was playing me, then she's not the person I thought she was. Her behavior yesterday was completely hypocritical, and I hate hypocrites. I hate it, which is why I had to walk out of that room. I will gladly step back and let the two people who did that go for it. Go for yours. You deserve it.
Do you think that Katie is playing a game?
Yes, of course. Yeah, from day one, I felt she was playing a game. I know she's playing a game. Integrity to me is the most important thing in life. If you say something but don't stand by who you are, what the hell is it worth? It's worth nothing. But some people don't care about integrity. Some people want to claw and scratch, and it doesn't matter how they win. It doesn't matter how they get to the top. But really, if you have to do it that way, I don't want it. So now my eyes are way more open.
Earlier, Kavana and Perez were evicted. The finalists are Callum, Keith, Katie Hopkins, Katie Price, and Michelle.
I'm a finalist. They kept me in. I love my gays and my UKs. I am so excited. I am a finalist. It just goes to show you that good people can win. I feel like I'm a winner. I've already won.
Has the twisted fairy tale lived up to everything you hoped it would?
No, it's been shit.
Yes!
Brother, you go. You sorry, go on.
For those of us who've been here from day one, no
Is that a dig again, Michelle?
No offense,
You
Frankie.
keep digging at me because you brought me in 10 days late. It's not my fault.
Listen, bitch, shut up!
And I'm still here, so deal with it.
This is another argument.